Much obliged to have you join us, as always, on the program Politics Today on independent television and radio in Benin City. Lovely Saturday. So good to be with you on the program today. Okay, we'll get started our conversation today with the latest development in the build-up to the 2023 election with some attacks on INEC officers. I mean, it's always a disturbing trend, particularly in the penultimate year before an election. That's why it's worrisome. We heard over the week that INEC national chairman did call a meeting, an emergency meeting, just to x-ray this ugly trend that could derail the conduct of the election, particularly in the states where these arsonists have been carrying out these attacks, and nobody knows where will be next. I'm joined now by Barrister Gentleman Amego, who we know is a grassroots politician, public affairs commentator. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Duke, for having me.
We also have with us in the studio Prince Roy Oribabo, a politician, civil activist, and public affairs commentator. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, this is quite a disturbing thing happening in our polity with some INEC offices being attacked, PVCs destroyed, equipment destroyed. All of this definitely will have far-reaching implications for the conduct of election in those areas. Shouldn't we anticipate things like this? Because we've seen this happen over and over again like a recurring decimal. Barrister Amego.
Well, sir, the question is, did we expect this? The answer, as far as I'm concerned, is no. I am particularly very surprised when I saw the housing case on the television. I do not know what these people with reprobate mind are looking for. For goodness sake, are we not going to move forward? Even if you are a killer, you are an armed robber, whatever you are, don't you want to go to the next level in life? We must at this time be ready to conduct free, fair, and transparent elections. I don't know why people want to disrupt it. The other day, Atiku's Convoy was attacked, and over 70 people were injured. And now you are Ogun INEC and burning PVC cards. You get your PVC card and vote somebody of your choice. Nobody is ready to ram it down your throat that you must vote for A or vote for B. Vote for a candidate of choice. Why destroy the papers? Then, of course, it means you are suspicious of the fact that candidate A will win while you want to destroy their PVC. It is very unfortunate. It is very painful, Duke, that some people are still like that. They don't grow. They don't think. They have eyes they don't see. They have ears they don't hear. They are people, summarily, you can describe as people with reprobate mind.
Okay. Roy, do you share in this sentiment against the background that the election is just a few months away, a few weeks away?
Of course, yesterday was also bothered when I received the news. To me, it was an attack on democracy. My fear in all this is that I also have another thing, in this part of the world, in Osun State, where I'm aware the records are there that the just concluded election is being contested at the level of tribunal. You will agree with me that in this part of the world, when things like this happen, there are ways people always react. You recall very just now, even in our DSA, when the issue of certificate was an issue. We were told some ministry, had to be raised down as a result, And you also agree with me that even in some of the ministries where monkeys and slaves were swallowing money, there was also fire incident. There must be a connection to all this. And that is who we are as a people. Until we start addressing issue on its merit, that's who we are as a people. Just because my own brother about it, because it happens in Osun simultaneously in Oyo, then one will say, well, there was nothing in Oyo. It's just to give a coloration as far as I'm concerned to say, well, it also happened in Oyo. But I'm very much bothered. I believe, that because of the issue in tribunal, they just concluded, we have to look at it from that angle, because attacking INEC office have no, what of we benefit to anybody? Why would we just, we must look at that issue, and I expect the security agency to critically evaluate and examine the situation on ground. They must be able to probe what is going on. But my fear also, secondly, is that, you know, this is the process is just starting now. It started in Osun and Oyo. If it is not properly checked, it can also move to another state. You know, once anything, it's just a story of kidnapping. When it started in this country, it started with Niger Delta. Before you know it, the whole country now, they embrace it negatively. Okay. And if we don't correct this thing, what happened in Oyo and Osun, don't be surprised the next week something will be happening in another state. I don't know why Nigeria negatively will keep on copying things that are not helping us in this country. The security agency must step up the game. They must be able. I'm happy that the INEC chairman called an emergency meeting, security meeting. They must be able to formulate a workable direction, come up with a policy on how to protect and safeguard our INEC offices across the state, because election is vital. Once, if the vital documents and vital equipment that is required for we to conduct elections is under attack, definitely our election will not be. And if election don't hold, you are indirectly, they are calling for an alternative to democracy, which might not be good for all of us. Therefore, the security agency must be up and doing this regard.
Okay, if you just join us, it's still Politics Today on independent television and radio. We'll take a short break in a moment and bring our third guest, Barrister Greg Iyayi, to join this conversation. All right, thanks again for staying with us on the program Politics Today on independent television and radio. Our focus as the curtain raiser on the conversation is the resurgence of attacks on public institutions, particularly INEC offices, in the build-up to the 2023 elections and its implications for the election. In Ogun State, over 65,000 PVCs yet to be collected, burnt. That's a huge loss. That's a massive loss. Not to talk about other facilities that were affected by that particular incident. Let me get to take Barrister Greg Iyayi. I told you about him a while ago that he will be joining us. Now he's here. This is a resurgence, which means it's not something we are new to, all right? And I was asking before you came, is it not possible for us to anticipate these things? There's a message Pastor Chris preached one time. He called it anticipating evil, particularly against the peculiarity of our environment here.
Our environment.
Yes.
I think we should be proactive and not really reactive. INEC should know that they're a target, a very major target in this election. And any political party can decide for one reason or the other to harbor some malice against them and then launch an attack, or even some disgruntled individuals. And some people just want to disrupt the process for the sake of disrupting it. So there should be for security. And then there should also be a kind of backup. In case this kind of thing happens, we will not lose all the material that we are supposed to lose, or so on. So it's very unfortunate. I would think that the National Assembly has given them all that they require to make sure that they have maximum protection for their materials, for their men, and so on. So I do not really see why they should leave themselves defenseless or open to attacks like this. And for anyone who is actually inclined to this, I think if you think it's going to be helpful, it's not going to be helpful, because it's going to rub on all of us. Because you don't know whether the PVC destroyed might be those that belong to your supporters or supporters of your organization.
Okay.
Yes. My brother, talking of this proactive, on PVC.
On protection of public institutions. Yes.
PVC, I expect that if you put it on the ring road, nobody should go and touch it, because they are not yours. You cannot go there and take your own. What are you going to do with Duke's PVC? What are you going to do with EI's PVC? Why destroy it? Do you know how people are going to vote? Whether they are voting for you or voting for it. They are just the type of human beings who have no mission on earth.
Mischief makers.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. We saw this happen in Osun State, and then, of course, another one in Ogun State. Roy, are these expressions of fears of the possible outcome of the election?
We cannot rule that out, because I think Nigerians, from us, have seen a commitment from the Nigerian people. They are saying that they are no longer comfortable with the system. You know, over the years, the system have not worked for us. With due respect for those who have been in position of authority, and you can see the signs. You know, I think it's a pastor. The scripture says when you start seeing signs like this, you will know that something will happen. You know, to some of us, you can see that determination. You can see the will and the zeal of the people to say we want to make a statement in this election, and the really elites are not so comfortable about that. You know. And on that, we cannot also rule that one out. As I said before, if you are you are getting ready for a process and you find out that it's not going to favor you, they will look for another winning method, especially when people are very desperate about you want to be at all costs. Yeah, those are the things you look for. And as I said that, we should not also rule it out because if we are to use Osun as a case study, I will continue to talk about the election petition that's going on in Osun. You know, that is what we are used to in this part of the world. People have resort to short cuts. Sure. Let us address issue on its merit. People will say, no, they resort to shortcut. And that is what we are saying. Nigeria, we should be able to tell ourselves the truth, and this is what we really need as a people. And that's the reason why the pastor was talking that we are not proud. I laugh. I said, that is who we are as a people. It's a matter of leadership. Because the leadership, INEC also have a leadership. And there is a leadership that superintend over INEC. At the highest level of this country, the leadership have shut down. The leadership have failed. Therefore, any other components of the system you are saying will not be able to work. How will you, INEC can only give someone a security meeting? Well, the INEC power is also limited. INEC commission a commissioner of police without taking order from the IGP. Can the IGP take a decision if the power that be say you cannot move, will you do otherwise? These are the issues because we have our institutions are very weak. We have institutions that are not working. You just saw the midterm election in US. You can see how institutions are working. You can see what people are doing that we don't have. Because we don't have an institution, we now resort to reacting mechanism. That is what we always do in this country. And when this happens, we start on. You and I know that in an arrangement like this, once the election is approaching, there are people naturally who want to undermine the system. There are people naturally who are deviant. They will want to undermine the system. What do? You have to be proactive. And that we don't have that culture in this part of the world. Nigeria does not believe in that way. We only, once things happen, we start reacting. We talk very just now, we talk about fraud. And that fraud that happened, there was a warning to it. And this is not the first time, not the second time. It will happen again in this country. We are told in every 10 years it will continue to happen. Because we are not proactive, we will continue to lament.
Okay.
Lamentation.
All right, let's just take a look at some of the items destroyed in the attacks on Ogun State. One of the local government council INEC office in Ogun State. Items destroyed included 904 ballot boxes, 29 voting cubicles, 30 megaphones, 57 election bags, 8 electric power generators, and 65,699 uncollected permanent voter cards, PVCs. Fortunately, in the Osun State incident, just a few furniture and a few items were destroyed, so which means the damage was more visible and more pronounced in Ogun State compared to that which occurred in Osun State. But let me get your take on the reactions trailing this attack being an expression of the fear of losing. I'd like to get a take on this, Barrister Iyayi.
You see, whenever people do something, the motive is always there. Before someone goes to commit a crime, we are told in law that you always have the action starts from the mind, actually. What you see outside is just a manifestation of the crime that has already been conceived and actually carried out in the mind. And then he just comes out and he acts it. So I feel that some people are afraid of what is going to be the outcome of the election. And then there are potential mischief makers that just want to disrupt the system. You know, when we're in university, sometimes you see some people who are not prepared for exam. They are always anticipating a riot, a postponement. They are the ones that we announce it. They are the ones that we trumpet it and so on, because they are not prepared. And once there's any reason to shift the exam, they will say, I told you, and we will be very happy. But I don't think that helps anyone. We should be prepared for free and fair elections. And however it goes, you accept. There's always another time and another chance if you so desire to continue contesting. But I feel that this idea, look at the financial loss and setback to INEC. Then look at even the psychological effect, on INEC staff and then some voters. And then look at what is going to cost in terms of time.
Yeah. To replace those items.
To replace those items. Because these are not items you just go to the market and you get. The one of the PVCs. It's going to take time, to make other PVCs.
Does it make sense that we have these PVCs as uncollected PVCs? Isn't that also an act of irresponsibility?
This is
on
what
the
we
part
are
of the
talking
people
about.
The
voters. You see, many of them have PVCs now that are uncollected. Although I must say this, INEC officials, so that the rigmarolling, you go there today, they will tell you come tomorrow. You go there the next time, they will say come again. Sometimes the voters are frustrated. But I think that resilience is not there to say whatever it takes, because it's my right, because I have a stake, because I want a change. I'm going to collect the PVC, but how many people have that resilience? It's not there. And then how many people have the means? Because you pay transport fare to go to INEC office. You have not even eaten. No, we are not ridiculing the system, sir.
Because you have to be a citizen of this country. If you must be patriotic, you must carry out your responsibility.
And then the country frustrates you because you are being patriotic. The country will frustrate you for being patriotic.
Exactly.
The country is not frustrating you. The workers, they are your brothers and sisters. They are probably the one frustrating you. Because I don't see what is difficult going there to register, going back to collect your PVC. It's done everywhere all over the world. Look at the election that has just ended in America. Those people stand on the queue for 5 hours.
I agree.
In UK and America, they don't have window protectors. They are just like this mirror we are seeing. They are not protectors because only a madman will come and be breaking the glass. But here, that's why I'm not very comfortable with proactive what you are talking about. Why will you expect that somebody will come and bomb the house because he wants to collect PVC?
Now that we know that it happens, it has happened before, and it could happen again. Why should we not be proactive?
Okay, let's just scale up.
We haven't reached that stage.
Yeah, let's scale up the conversation, gentlemen.
Exactly.
Few days ago,
and we have walls.
About 2 days ago, the report came of an attack on the convoy of one of the presidential candidates, specifically Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, where about 74 people were hospitalized, 70 vehicles destroyed, as thugs allegedly attacked the convoy of the PDP presidential candidate in Borno State. Apparently, these are elements of threats to the 2023 election. And I'm wondering why it's difficult for us to move past this level, just like you said at the beginning. Even though there are accusing fingers being pointed at the major party ruling in that state, thugs loyal to the major party ruling in that state has been allegedly responsible for that action. Barrister Mego,
Yeah, that's an allegation that the Shatima, if you like, he will not be responsible. You have a governor here, Professor Zulum, is the head of the security in the state. Ask him what happened. Let the government investigate and know what happened. But all in all, the attitude is condemnable. It gives me some great lamentation because I'm in sympathy with Atiku. How do you attack a convoy of a presidential candidate? There are about 14, 15 candidates to run for this election.
Yes.
So you will be attacking every other person that comes. That's very unhealthy. It's very unfair. And we should investigate, go and find out exactly what happened and give appropriate sanctions to those who are behind it.
All right.
It's very shameful, sir.
Yeah.
Because I see a situation where on that day people start shooting guns, scaring people, particularly in an area where they think a particular candidate is very popular.
Yes.
But I think I've been thinking that until that happens, I've been thinking that we have grown above this.
No.
Nobody can steal this election, though. The election must hold peacefully, and the winner will be declared.
Okay. Roy, quick take on this. The attack on Atiku's convoy.
It's condemnable. We all have to condemn it. It's highly undemocratic. It's not known to the principle and the doctrine of democracy. You know, even when I received the news, I was scared. You also recall that even in Kaduna, there was also an attempt in Kaduna for the campaign of PDP. Some thugs also invaded it, if you recall. Therefore, it's not an issue that is trending. And some of us, we are not comfortable with this kind of a position. And that's the reason why I salute my father here, Gentleman Amigo. You know, despite his political affiliation, I'm able to come on the road to condemn the whole action. You know, we are looking for personality that is in this country. Look at the police in Benue State. Look at conflicting report coming from there. I was ashamed of myself that what kind of report is coming from a country. That is a report we are giving to the whole world. A presidential candidate of a political party be attacked. You saw the report. I was ashamed of myself. Where is that one taking us to? What kind of politics are we playing in this part of the world? The world is moving. Nigeria want to live in isolation? Do we want to live in isolation? That is, I'm bothered about the whole situation. All of us must rise up to condemn it, irrespective of political affiliation. We are first of all Nigeria before our political party. Okay. Without Nigeria, there's not going to be a political party.
Right. But the police said that the allegation of attack was a hoax, that the PDP candidate was well protected. After all, the rally still went ahead as planned. What do you make of that reaction by the security agents?
Is it if he had died that you would have known? If he was killed, that you would have known that it actually took place. I mean, the smashed vehicles were there, and then we at least people saw the whole thing. So you don't wait for the worst to happen before you believe that the thing actually took place, and is condemnable. This kind of thing, like has been said, happened in Kaduna, and then it's happening here again. Why? And you see, it all goes to one thing. For instance, why will governors not allow opposition parties to use the stadium that belongs to the state? Is the stadium their personal property? It belongs to the people. No, we must say this, because this is where it comes from.
Absolutely.
This is where it comes from. The stadium does not belong to the governor. It belongs to the people. And the government don't carry the stadium away whenever he is leaving the office. It's happening in almost all the states. You see some of them paying for the stadium for the rest of the year. For what purpose? What is that going to do for you? This is where the intolerance of dissenting opinion actually takes hold. And then their supporters down the line, follow suit and begin to throw stones at any convoy they believe belongs to the opposition party. I mean, we have grown past this. No. And anyone who thinks that is going to help him in any way, indeed, that is going to cast him in very bad light before the people. Please, I appeal all governors, allow opposition parties to use the stadium. It's the property of the people.
So, but what if the stadium has already been pre-arranged for an activity of the state? Will the state just now give it out because an opposition candidate wants to use it?
Let me say this. Before any party goes to book for a stadium, I use youth hall for my firstborn program. You first of all go there. They will check the bookings before you are allowed to give a date, to make payment. If that date is free, then you can be allowed. But sometimes you have even had situations where a party will pay and later they will return the money. They say, no, it's occupied. The person there will not give you the real reason. He will tell you, please come and take your money. And the reason actually behind it is that the government does not want you to use it. Okay. If you are popular and you are rooted, why are you afraid of the opposition?
Fantastic. That's the big question, and it takes me to another plank of our conversation on the show today. The Labour Party candidate was in Edo State yesterday from Edo North through Edo Central to Edo South to conclude his campaign in Edo State. Are there pullouts from that, those campaigns, apart from the fact that it was alleged that they couldn't access the stadium, which is be penciled down for a state function, as it were. But they had another place to use, which I believe was just enough for them to use. Yes, the Baptist Convention Ground, which, yeah, there's also a field at UBTH. So let me get your reactions on this, Riverbo. Yes.
Well, if we are to use Edo State as a case study,
yes,
you know, I listened to the governor, and he said that nothing like that happens. It's also, even if you look at your news banner, it's also there. I am not in government. I'm a supporter of Obaseki, a proud supporter of Godwin Obaseki. I am not in government, therefore I will not be able to comment as to what really happened. And I'm also a member of those, the Labour Party and the Obedient Movement also said to know what really happened. You know, this era of politics, that people can cook anything. We have to be very careful. Because the kind of politics we are seeing in this part of the world, and that people can cook anything just to make it's a propaganda. People can just come out. Therefore, we have to be very careful on how issues are mentioned. I was also told that the University of Benin, particularly somebody just called me and said, "Oh, Riverbo, they don't allow us use stadium. Where you there? They don't allow us use Unibank. Where you there?" Obaseki, I said, take it easy. You take it easy. Are you part of the committee that went to the stadium to go and pay? He said, no. I said, why are you now? Why are you ranting on me? He said, because I know you must have information about this. I said, young man, take it easy. We must interrogate the whole process so that we know what happened. As of today, I tried to reach out to some of my friends who are in Obedient Movement, who went there. I reached out to the chairman, I've not been able to reach him. So I want to know the committee who visit. You know, so that we know those who did the booking, why the governor refused. And the governor will speak and say nothing like that.
Okay.
And I'm also very scared. I am scared about Nigeria. The reason is that we need to really work on ourselves in this country. Most of the governors in Nigeria, the way and manner they are behaving, I am scared. I am scared. I must tell you the truth.
We'll get to that
if we are to go down on this issue,
engage that issue.
You saw an executive. There is an executive that in Rivers State by the governor that before opposition want to contest, he will personally need to approve it. Then you look at Nigeria Constitution and you begin to wonder where we are headed.
I want us to look at some of the participation of party faithfuls in the rallies and campaigns that are ongoing, using what happened in Edo State as a case study, interfacing it with all of that that have been going on in other states in the build up to the 2023 election. This is across political divide. Okay, now I'm hearing this, that in our political space, there is what you call the organic crowd. There's what you call the rented crowd. How do we distinguish that? At least from your experience as, yes. What is the difficulty?
That we will not pay, yes.
Yes.
It could be love.
But do they exist? Rented crowd, organic crowd? What's the difference?
I don't know that. We compare seriously to
And they come by whatever means.
Yes.
You said he wasn't given stadium and all that.
No, I said that was what was alleged. Yeah.
No,
Okay, yeah.
Please, you know, I grew up with the independence of this country till now. So I know Nigeria politics so well. Are you surprised that Obi was not given any space to complain? If you are surprised, means you are not following what is happening in this country. Have you ever heard that in any local government election across the 36 states and federal capitals, has any opposition won one local government? Of the 774 local governments in this country, has any opposition won one? Even though it's Dangote in his own constituency, I think they don't. And that is injustice of our people in Nigeria. When the governor, no other local government must win. While the voting is going on, you are writing, you ask your officer, right, if you go and nobody says anything. That's why we have been saying that we ought to include local government elections into the INEC. But that's just by the way. Okay. Some parties are more popular than the other. A particular party has 22 states. That tells you exactly what those people who had 13 or 14 or thereabout, they now have less than that because there is what we call the G5. They have totally broken away the G5, so reducing them to about 8 or so. And so you should expect that a state with 22 states should be able to win the election clearly. Okay.
All right, Roy, give me your distinction between, because Mr. Mego, he just scratched the surface on the difference between the organic crowd and the rented crowd in our political campaigns. Let me get your take. Yeah.
Of course, I run an organization called Solid Associate Limited. If you contact me, if you are looking for crowd, I can give you crowd at any number. You know, these are no issues. It happens here. It's just that you have the professional among us. No, there are persons natural. You agree with me now. There's no job in this country. You are home and you are telling Roy, I need 5,000 from you, 5,000 men to join me tomorrow. I mobilize. I go to the market and ask the woman, how much can you make in a day? You say, oh God, they get 3,000. So I'm giving you 5,000. I'm giving you a plate of rice attached to it. Follow me to a rally. She will gladly transportation. She will gladly follow me. It happens every day. Just because we're in a part of the world where people want to. But the man, my father sitting down with me, I know it is not in character to want to dodge any of that. But the issue is very direct. There are rented crowd. It happens every day. The records are.
How do you distinguish both? How do you distinguish both?
It's very hard for you to distinguish them because one, you have been paid for a service, you must be there. And that is the reason why.
How do you know the one that is paid for and the one that is not paid for?
How do you know? It's the force that drag them. It's the force. You know, those that are paid for, when they get to any gathering, like some of them are usually very relaxed. Yeah. They'll see that they are counting hours. That in another 4 hours, I get my money and all that. While those that are naturally, who are in the process, they, you know, you see there the vibrancy, the damnation, they are rolling up with energy, they are spending their money, you see them. It's easy. Once you are there, you look at it, you know, oh, this is a rented one. These are the people who are here genuinely. These things I'm telling you, these are things I've seen. I work on it on a daily basis. I see it. Therefore, there is no need for me to deny. You know, if you say you want to rent crowd, I can rent for you. It's not a crime. I can do that. And for another thing is that, let me quickly also join issue with when he said, when you have 22 governors, that yes, that by implication that you have 22 states, that it's natural for you to win.
It should.
But it doesn't work like that.
Okay.
It doesn't work like that because now society is evolving. I can conveniently tell you if we are to use those states as a case study, apart from the former governor, Lucky Blejo, no serving governor have able to win those states for his own party. Go and check record. As popular as Oshomole at the time, he could not win his state, Edo State, for his party. The records are there. Therefore, yes, in presidential election, that's what I mean. Therefore, the people, once they take a decision, there's no governor who can say that, especially now with the level of poverty.
Are you prophesying for the 2023 election?
I am
presidential election.
I'm a man of the street. I'm telling you what is obtainable. The governors you are talking about who are in charge, these are persons who don't spend their money. They don't know whether there is light. They enjoy the taxpayers' money. They are not bothered. Then you are the one who will not come to me and tell me that I should vote for you when your children are not here. We just resumed after 8 months. I was told that they receive a half salary. And the governors you are talking about, their children, they are in overseas. They are schooling, they are very comfortable.
Okay.
Then, is that equation will not work?
Pastor Greg, give me your distinctions between the organic crowd and the rented crowd. And from some of the political parties that have we've seen their campaigns, are there some you can distinguish or describe as organic? Are there those you can describe as rented? What is the evidence to back them up?
There has always been the rented crowd limited. It has always been there. That business has been thriving for a long time. Just that now it's taking a new dimension, it's going digital. You have the commercial crowd, and then you have the crowd that come out of conviction. and we interact with the youths every time. My office is in an area where there are many youths. All the rallies that have been going on, some that were contracted, they tell me, barrister, we dey go. We are going, and this is how much we were paid. In addition, some of them will come and bring their package and say, see, you will say we shouldn't go, but look at what we have gotten. If I was in my shop, would I get this? So we have such. Then you have some that are actually going there out of political enthusiasm. They are part of the process and they want to participate. So it exists and we should not deny it. And if we live in denial, it's unrealistic.
Okay. All right. Let's take our last point before we open our studio line so you can call and be part of the discussion. This week, one of the presidential candidates was on the front burner, particularly against his the background of what he was in the past or what he was alleged to be in the past, being accused of being involved in money laundering, involved in drug dealing business, even up to the United States of America. We had some documentations came forth within this week, which led to a lot of reactions and counter-reactions. We're talking about the APC presidential candidate, to be specific. And the presidential spokesman, one of them actually came out to say it was just a storm in a teacup and that it wasn't something that should be taken seriously. Something he said was that some of his roommates, his close friends and all of that, they were drug barons and all of that. And then I asked a question, which is something our parents used to tell us. Show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. What does that imply for the presidential candidate? Let me get your take on that, Barrister Amego.
Well, the details of that case is speculative because the matter came up before. It came up when he died a natural death. You see, when anybody is running for an election, particularly when it's becoming very popular, a lot of allegations come up. I was not telling before, I'm telling you about it. A serving governor's wife was said to have been saved with $7 million in Brussels 2 days ago. This money, another one in London was saved with £8 million. Nobody has denied or accepted. But they showed the photographs of the human beings. The serving governor has not denied anything. So the other boy has not denied anything. They showed the British police showed the box while they were opening it. Anyway, that is by the way. You see, when people make allegations, it's to discredit the candidate and to change the spirit of the people, because this is everybody is looking for a clean candidate that we can vote for. But you can make up stories. I'm a politician. A lot of stories are made up to condemn one candidate or the other. But I tell you, Duke, don't rely on all those stories.
All right, Roy, have you followed up this story? Is there anything we should take from it, or we should just thrash it?
No, to me, it's not an issue because this is not the first time the issue will be coming up. Yes. It came up when he was a governor. The man who took him to court there is not the man who is not defending. He must have seen that, or he must have now got more information. To me, it's not an issue.
That he's chopping. When he's chopping.
No, I don't want to go into that. It's not an issue Nigeria should be bothered about because, it's not an issue.
But it's like, Greg, you're a lawyer. Give us some legal insights into this.
I'm of a different opinion. I'm of a different opinion because somebody who is going to be my president tomorrow, I should know a little bit about his past. And if weighty allegations, I'm not saying that it has been proved that he's guilty, but if weighty allegations are made against him, I think we deserve to hear from him, not from his acolytes. Hear from him what you have to say. Bill Clinton was in power. Allegations were made against him. And his press men were issued. He said, no, let me answer. And he answered. He was impeached, although he was not removed from office. And he apologized. He said, that was my past. I agree with it. And I apologize for it. I apologize to my daughter, to my wife, and to the American people. So what I'm saying is that I don't want us to hold forth for anyone. Let the person who has been accused, let him answer. And let him answer. Let him tell Nigerians that these are false. And let him tell Nigerians why they are false. There's no big deal about it. And if they are found to be false, he can even sue those people.
Okay.
He can sue them.
Yes, sir.
We say in law, those who are far must prove. So if you want to make an allegation, you must be ready to prove the allegation.
And
not the man going to court. He as an individual, you have a right, that is stakeholder in this country, to immediately see the court judgment on this issue. It's not every allegation you will rely on. Those who are far must prove. Those who are alleged must prove. Let them go to court and prove it, and then the candidate who's involved will get the necessary action.
Okay, our studio line, you want to say something irrespective?
yes,
Okay.
if someone is accused,
Yes.
you are a lawyer, the person should say, I am guilty or I'm not guilty.
He has said so before. The matter is an old
It's
matter.
Simple.
Okay, our studio line will be open now, and so you can also call and be part of the discussion. It's Policies Today on independent television and radio. The studio number will be up shortly, so you can call and be part of the discussion. Please ensure that when you do call, turn down the audio level on your TV or radio to remove the echo. Be as brief as possible, because there are others that are waiting to be part of the discussion this beautiful Saturday morning. Always endeavor to tell us your name and where you're calling from, so you can go ahead and be part of the discussion on Policies Today on independent television and radio. As I told you before, we're waiting for signals from Okada, where the convocation ceremony is ongoing, where the president of Love World Nation, Reverend Dr. Chris Hilome, will be conferred with honorary doctorate degree. We also have other eminent Nigerians that will be receiving honorary degrees today at the convocation, and we'll be keeping you up to speed with that in the course of this program. But let's just quickly have a round in terms of our expectations for the 2023 election against the background of some of the realities that we are seeing. Barrister Mengo.
The realities we are seeing are threats. They are empty threats. They storm the takeoff. They are not going to go anywhere. That the election will be free, fair, and transparent. Everybody wants to go for the election. We will go there that day, carry out the voting, and come back home peacefully. If they are unable to scare us, we will go. Go vote and come back. And I think that's what it's going to be. It's going to be the freest election, because INEC has improved on their system.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a consolation, right? Okay, let's take this call. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name? Caller, good morning. What's your name? Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Hello.
Hello, sir. This is Pastor Diogo.
Okay. Yes, go ahead, please, with your contribution.
Thank you for your good job. Yeah, Barrister Amego, thank you with the other analysts here for your good presentation this morning. I really appreciate. Yeah, it's a pity that the ruling party is still having supporters today. When a Tito, so the two proposal, 1,000 plus. Try is go to 300 naira. Other part of 500. People are still clamoring for such a party. What a shame, because of your right. Don't say your best right outside the part of your world. I know you should clear your PVC and so the person that will take us Eldorado. That is.
Thank you very much, Pastor of the whole world. Thank you for your contribution. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name? Hello, caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Tell us your name and where you're calling from, and then go ahead with your contribution. The studio line is on the screen. Dial it and be part of the discussion. Hello, caller. Tell us your name and where you're calling from. Go ahead with your contribution. Dial the studio number and go ahead with your contribution. Okay, we lost that call, but we hope that you can call us again and be part of the discussion. Please, let's have the studio number on the screen. Let's have the studio number on the screen. Roy, that was very, very striking in terms of the reaction from our first caller. You want to say something about
But that reaction is natural. People are suffering. Of a truth, people are suffering. There's hunger in the land. There's deprivation. You just talk about food now. People are suffering. And if we have to work on that, that was the reason why when he told me, my father talks about 22 governors, and it will work like that. And I said, no. Because people, you can feel it. You can see the hunger. People are reacting based on that. And this is one of the elections that people will be going there to vote, and you will go there with anger. And we will vote against those who have perpetually made us to remain in this kind of suffering for ourselves.
Okay, so Mr. AI, give us your take on this, quickly.
I think people are going to vote their conscience this time. And I also believe that the election, we are cautiously optimistic, knowing that there might be mischief makers. But at the same time, I believe the election will take place. It will be free. By the grace of God, it will be fair. INEC has improved. And we will vote out those that have been afflicting the people. Because I live here now, I'm going to look for fuel. If you check my vehicle, there are jerrycans for generator, for vehicle.
Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name?
Good morning, sir.
Yes, please go ahead with your contribution.
Good morning, I'm calling from South Lebanon.
Yes, go ahead, Sonny Edosa.
Thank you very much. I acknowledge our elders in studio this morning. And I also like to say that it shows that the spirit of elder has rested on Oribabo. Even though he's judging the matter, but at least he has been bold enough to at least speak to his point, which I appreciate him for. I think that there are two issues because of time I like to look at. The issue of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, it doesn't matter how it is. You don't forget, as a minister of the gospel, remember that scripture says that a man must be seen faithful. So whether it's an allegation or not, whether it's something that happened before, it's important that you look for a way to put it to rest. Don't say it doesn't matter because many of us were not here in 2019 or 2007. So I think it's about time he come out. We don't want the president who will not be able to talk to the people or who will say he's too busy as a representative. We don't want a president now who will say that I didn't say that or they said that on my behalf. That's one. For the issue of the governor of Edo State saying he's not aware, I think that is not good enough. Number one, don't forget that the slogan of PDP said that power belongs to the people. So if it is true, you will always need the people. Now, if according to the governor, he said that the man called him, Peter Obi called him that he was coming to Benin. So their friendship did not get to that level where he can ask what are you coming to Benin to do. Let us not put to this issue. At least that man was one man who have not been able to say anything bad against anybody. He tried to work with everybody because he wants to win votes. So I think that give people a level playing field because when you talk about peace is not the absence of war. There is the presence of justice. You said that you didn't stop anybody from using pressing billboard, but if you go to Airport Road now, all the people that are filled with PDP, where will you now have space to keep your own? If you go to the King's Corner, you feel with the PDP, where will others have space to keep your own? So I think I'll be able to accommodate each other so that at the end of the day, whoever that win will be bad as a result of the people. Because if you need the people now, when you leave office, you will still need the people. So if we don't take people well, people will not trust us again. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Sonny Edosa, for your views. The number is on the screen: 070-836-51320. That's our studio number. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Yes, your name and where are you calling from, please?
Oh, good morning. My name is Apaka Braid. I'm calling from Benin.
Okay, go ahead.
My concern is about Labour Party that they did their rally yesterday, and I was waiting to watch the rally on news yesterday. ITV denied them. The news was not on air. I was surprised.
Okay, let me just respond to you on that. ITV would never deny any party, any candidate the opportunity to be on our news. I'm sure that event, when it ended, the crew that covered it got to the studio late. If the news wasn't on yesterday because of time factor, today it will be on.
Yes.
All right?
Okay, thank you.
Watch out for ITV News.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. So, 070-8365-1320.
Yeah, those are the obedient.
Go ahead with your contribution. Good morning, caller. What's your name? Hello, good morning. Okay, we lost that call. Let me take this other call. Good morning, caller. What's your name and tell us and give us your contribution quickly.
My name is Julius, calling from Benin.
Okay, Julius, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to first of all commend the ITV and Pastor Duke for doing a marvelous job for enlightening the people on the happenings in our society.
Thank you.
Okay, I want to speak on the issue of the denial of a Labour Party, the use of the Samuel Gbemudia Stadium. You know, is like Sonny Edo has said earlier on, PDP has a slogan that the power belongs to the people. That stadium belongs to the entire people of Edo State. The people that were going to converge in that stadium were not people from outside Edo State. The indigenous of Edo State. At least to the reason the governor converged gave for the refusal of use of that stadium, I don't think that excuse is genuine enough. PDP had their rally recently in that stadium, and you said Peter Obi called you as a friend to tell you he's coming to Benin City. As a friend, you didn't ask him. As a governor, a person of Peter Obi caliber is coming to Benin City. You spoke with, you didn't ask him, my friend, what are you coming to do in Benin City? You see, when we are speaking, sometimes we are not speaking to laymen. We are speaking to people who have senses. So I don't think that reason is genuine enough. Where the people were denied the use of the stadium, but the people finally used the entire Edo State, rally held in Edo South, Edo Central, and Edo North. So it was a success. A message has been passed across to them. They should prepare their handover notes.
Okay, let me pause it there. Quickly, hello, caller, what's your name?
Oh, God.
My time
Yes,
is up.
I thought that.
Okay.
People go where come out. I was fighting there yesterday. Why are you blaming Obaseki? You blame Soluto? No, blame Soluto. Nobody could have followed the fight. And now,
Okay, thank you. That's our package for today on the program Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. I want to say big thanks to Barrister. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for
having me.
Thank you as always. Have a great weekend. In a moment, we'll be bringing you the live signals from Okada on the convocation ceremony. Stay with us.
This guy is angry.